Final update to AITA for telling my fiancé my daughter has to be in our wedding? I am still not the original poster. That is you. Hooven is that 5. He posted in r, am I the asshole in his own page. I wrote the previous BORU posts here and here. The newest update is marked with I changed letters to names for readability. Trigger warning. Possible stalking. Less than. Mood spoiler. Happy ending. Less than. Original post. July 9th, 2023. I, 45 meters. Have a daughter. Polly. From a previous relationship. I divorced my ex-wife on good terms and we share 50-50 custody of Polly. She is now 11. After I divorced my ex-wife I met my now fiancé, Sharon. Sharon and my daughter got along very well. After 5 years in my relationship with Sharon I proposed. Sharon was super excited and wanted to start planning right away. She looked at venues and started asking her friends to be her bridesmaids. She then told me she wanted her niece to be a flower girl, which I had no problem with. But I said I also wanted Polly to be a flower girl. Sharon looked at me funny and then said that she didn't think that Polly would fit the part. I got angry and told Sharon that my daughter would be in our wedding. Sharon started to become upset and said that the girls in the wedding were up to her and Polly wouldn't be one of them. I told Sharon that if Polly wasn't in the wedding then there might not be a wedding. I stormed out and took Polly to get ice cream. Polly knows we are getting married and told me she thinks she will look pretty in whatever dress Sharon decides she should wear. This broke my heart and I decided to text Sharon. I told her I would be staying at a friend's to think this over. My Mill texted me saying I am overreacting and that my daughter doesn't have to be in my wedding. And I was an ass for saying that I would cancel. So did I take it too far saying I will cancel? Am I overreacting or just being a good dad? Edit. Thank everyone for the comments and suggestions. I will post an update in the near future. Relevant comments. Did you propose alternatives to the flower girl position? I said I wanted her in the wedding in some shape or form. I wanted her to be a part of our day and not sitting with the guests while we walk down the aisle. Fiancé said it would be best if she just sat with my parents. Many have suggested a junior bridesmaid but my fiancé still declines. I did tell my fiancé she will be in the wedding and if that means she has to be a groomsman then so be it. Fiancé blew up saying she's not a boy and my side is only for boys. She denied my request to have a father-daughter dance with Polly, so this is why I'm rethinking the whole wedding. Sharon and I are going to talk tonight and hopefully she will give me a full reasoning. Has Polly ever said anything about Sharon treating her poorly? Polly has never voiced any concerns about Sharon treating her badly. I have never seen anything happen between them, so this was very out of the blue. Surprisingly, Sharon has never had an issue with Polly until wedding talk. The two have always been super close, so her reaction shocked me for sure. I would have never popped the question if Polly wasn't comfortable. I totally understand where you are coming from. I do think it's crazy that I haven't seen any signs. I've talked to Polly and told her to tell me if anything has ever happened. Polly can't recall a single time Sharon was mean to her. Could race, weight or disability be a factor in this? Yes, I made this post late last night and I'm just now reaching all the comments. My daughter is not disabled. She is on the average weight scale for an 11-year-old and all of us in the situation are white. Oop also clarifies that his fiancé is 39 years old. Small update in comments. Same day. Talked to her mom this morning because I wanted Polly to start with her until this was figured out. Her mom said she hopes it goes well and told me I could stay with her and Polly if need be. She said Polly always comes home with nothing negative to say. So we aren't sure where this came from. Oop is voted NTA. Update post. July 9th, 2023. 15 hours later. Hey Reddit. Thank everyone for all the kind words and suggestions. To answer a few questions. My daughter is not disabled, chubby, or having an awkward phase. Braces, glasses. I did ask if Polly could be a groomsman. Sharon immediately shot me down. Sharon is 39. She is the same race as my daughter. This is her first marriage. I tried to answer in many comments as possible. I came home to talk to Sharon today. When I pulled in our driveway, my Mill was sitting there in her car. I got out and went inside trying to avoid talking to Mil. Sharon was sitting at the kitchen table and I joined her. She sat in silence, so I asked the first question. Why does Polly not fit the part? And why don't you want her in the wedding at all? Her answer full-on shocked me. She quietly said, I was hoping that after the wedding you could become a holiday visit only dad. I didn't want her in the wedding so she wouldn't be in the photos around the house since she wasn't going to be around much. I kept my cool, calmly took her hand, and pulled my engagement ring off. Her eyes started to tear up. She said we shouldn't end the marriage over this and that she can change. I told her the damage was already done. I told her I wanted her things moved out by next week and that she could come get them when my daughter wasn't home. The house is in my name and I paid for it. I was allowing her to get her furniture that she paid for. She stormed out and Mill came knocking on the door saying I was being unreasonable. I couldn't imagine only seeing my daughter 3 or 4 times a year. The fact that Sharon wanted me to give up part of my custody blew me away. I'm sitting on my couch just in shock. Our honeymoon was supposed to be in Hawaii. Looks like me and Polly will be going instead. I will update again if anything happens. Relevant comments. People are once again skeptical that there was no bad behavior by Sharon toward Polly in the past. I have truly never noticed a thing. Polly has never had anything negative about Sharon and asked her mom earlier today when she will get to see her again. Second update. July 29, 2023. 20 days from last update. Hello everyone. Thank you for all the kind comments and suggestions for Hawaii a few days ago, and Polly is already having a ton of fun. If you have any cool suggestions, please drop them in the comments. As for my ex-fiancée, she has tried to reach out to me wanting to work everything out, saying she only did it because her mom wanted pure grandchildren. I still do not care. If she really loved my daughter and she wouldn't have acted on her mother's wishes. Sharon has called my workplace to try and get in touch with me. She has even shown up a few times to try and talk to me, and I've told my supervisor to just ask her to leave. She has gone as far as messaging my ex-wife a few times wanting to know why her calls won't go through to me. When she caught wind that we were in Hawaii, she was pissed. I'm still close with her brother, and he told me that her and her mom were going to try and get plane tickets. If that's the case, I will likely file a restraining order. Polly has asked what happened to Sharon, and I told her that we come as a package deal and Sharon only wanted me and I couldn't leave her. Polly understood, but I think she was a little heartbroken. I know this update is small, but it's all I have for those asking. Relevant comments. Did your former future BIL have any light to shed on Sharon and his mom's behavior? Her and her brother are not very close and grew up in different homes, as my ex Mill and Phil are divorced. Her brother and dad are pretty awesome though. We went and had drinks a few days after the storm of Sharon and her mom. Final update. November 23, 2023. 4 months later. // I realized I forgot to do an update. Polly and I had an epic time in Hawaii and she's already talking about wanting to go back. Turns out when my ex-fiancée and her mom tried to buy tickets, the airlines were sold out. Instead, they decided to leave piles of letters at my door. There were maybe 50 envelopes full of pages about how I need to take Sharon back. I honestly didn't read through them all and discarded most of them. So far I've coincidentally run into Sharon at grocery stores and gas stations and not paid any attention to her. She attempted to show up at my daughter's meet the teacher night, but since she didn't have a kid, she wasn't allowed in. From what I have heard through her brother and dad, she already has a new boyfriend and just wants to get back at me now. As for me, I've out in a restraining order on Sharon. I did see comments asking if I was going to attempt to date again. Let's just say I took my ex-wife with me to Hawaii and we decided to try again. All in all, I'd say I don't expect to be hearing from Sharon or her mother again. And my ex-wife is now moved back in with my daughter and I. Thank you all so much for your support throughout this time. The way how she said her mother wanted pure grandchildren is disgusting. She really thought making him jealous and getting back at Op with another man would work, lol. She's a clown. Well, at least she can have those pure grandchildren her mother always wanted with her boyfriend. My ex-stepmother told my dad that she needed a break from his children after almost 10 years of marriage. I thought the woman had him wrapped around her finger. But he was so done with her after that. It's a wonderful thing as a child to know that your parents actively choose you. Good for Op. Hands clapping. That was a twist ending. If this is true, it made me wonder why the ex-wife and him broke up in the first place. I wonder if this last part is true. I am inclined to believe the first. Because he didn't mention taking the ex-wife to Hawaii in the first update, and that is awfully soon. To suddenly start to spend time with his ex, when he never mentioned her before. Also, I thought he said the plane tickets were sold out and that was why Sharon and Mom couldn't get a flight. So how did he get a ticket for his ex-wife? So I'm the first post they were planning the wedding, which included a Hawaii honeymoon and 20 days. Later dad and daughter are in Hawaii? Oh, and then 4 months after that apparently the ex-wife has gone with them? Yeah, that's not how any of that works. Wait, the honeymoon would be in Hawaii. So is now taking his daughter. In the update 20 days later he already went to Hawaii? That's a suspiciously short time frame. I knew he'd get back with his ex-wife. That story would make a middling Hallmark Channel movie. I really wish they'd put the effort into the ending that they put into the start. Paid? In my head, any story that has the word paid is written by Lizzie. Go to bed, Liz. And now he's back with the ex-wife. Fuck off, Liz. How exactly would a half-sister living in the same house as them make Mil's grandchildren less pure? I mean, it was a gross comment regardless. But genetically, they'd still be her DNA? Their half-sister being in their vicinity doesn't change that? And now I don't believe it anymore. The part about the ex-wife moving back in is just too neat and smug. That's something you'd write for a movie. Damn, the final update ruined it all. That's awesome, so awesome, glad you a real dad. I have a feeling Sharon's parents' divorce was also playing a part in her actions here. I only got Mom when my parents divorced. So why should Polly get to keep both parents, kinda thing? Interesting how this all wrapped up so neatly. If I've learned anything from Best of Redditor updates, it's that weddings seem to bring out people's true colors. Enjoy that the ex is trying to show him what he's missing. Pretty sure he's already very aware. She actually managed to play good stepmother for 5 years before she showed her true face. I'm baffled over how vile some people can be. Good for OP that it worked out well in the end. Finally, a parent who prioritizes their child over getting their rocks off. Refreshing.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.